Welcome back everyone to another Element Fission video. Today I'm going to be breaking down Boxing Club Stage 10. I'm going to be showing you guys a couple teams, a beginner friendly team, a speed dot composition, along with a double popo composition for any of you guys that are lucky enough to pull a light popo. It's absolutely not necessary. I will definitely give you guys a sneak peek into my favorite team, but if you do enjoy today's video, please hit that thumbs up button and let's get started. Now, first and foremost, to really understand Boxing Club, you kind of have to understand the main gimmick for this boss, and that's pretty much going to be bringing in 4 buffs to counter this Guru shuffle passive. So flexible body movements cause a 20% chance for enemy attacks to chance a glancing hit. So however, for each buff the attacker possesses, the probability decreases by 5%. Meaning if you have a total of 4 buffs on your team, you are going to completely negate this glancing chance, and every time you do glance on the boss, you're going to get counterattacked. So you'd really do want to kind of cater your team around this main gimmick. Like I said, 4 buffs is probably the easiest way to get around this gimmick. Or if we head over to heavy metal and we look at the steady set, it decreases the chance of glancing hit by 12%. You can also rock this 2-piece set on your main damage dealers, along with bringing in 2 buffs, and that is a way to kind of work around that main gimmick. And a little quick shout to you guys, you don't actually have to have a hero that brings in a total of 4 buffs. You can have a hero that brings in a total of 3 buffs, like my favorite Fire Clockwork, and then you can also equip one of your heroes with the Protect 2-piece set, which grants a shield to your allies at the beginning of each round or battle, and that's actually going to count as a buff itself, counting to a total of 4 buffs. And that is a really great way. I see a lot of endgamer players use this strategy to get that total 4 buffs and completely negate that passive. So with all of that said, I do want to share with you guys some of the more free-to-play compositions that I have seen in the strategy section. I do want to give a shout out to these players, Grip and Virgo, because there is really there's no way to get more free-to-play friendly than this. We've got the main hero, which is going to be your healer, along with a buffer, the Tree Occult Dancer. She's extremely good. She applies 2 buffs here with her skill 3, and then she does have a cleanse on the skill 2, along with a heal and another buff stack, which is even better. She's going to be keeping everybody alive. Next up, we do have the Tree Steel Wing. I do see people interchange this position with the Tree Giant, but pretty much, honestly guys, I'd probably recommend the Steel Wing a little bit more in the early stage, because he does have this damage over time on his basic ability, and that's gonna synergize really well with the Tree Pirate dude, because he also has dots and he can explode the dots. So I highly recommend doing the Steel Wing. But also, if you don't want to go that route, the Tree Giant is also a great hero that you can keep at 5-star, while also being able to utilize him in PvP for the attack buff along with the action bar boost. But really, another buffer with the skill 3, we've got the speed down, which does help quite a bit, but that is going to be the Steel Wing. And as you can see, both of these free-to-play friendly teams are utilizing the Steel Wing hero, just because he's going to help speed up your run on that boss stage. And then next up, we do have the Tree Popo Rider. She is so good in this battle because she does have the action bar increase along with the speed up buff, so you're going to be able to cycle your cooldowns even further because of this hero. And like I said, that's the main reason why Steel Wing and Tree Giant are interchangeable, is because you can either go with the dot route on the boss, or you can go with the double action bar boost, which the Tree Giant does have. He also has an action bar boost similar to the Popo Rider, so that's going to help cycle your abilities in a similar scenario. Next up, we do have the damage dealer for both of these teams. Now they are utilizing different heroes here. The first team, we have the bouncing tree joker, and I actually feel like this hero may be a little bit better for this team comp early on, because he does give you the effect up buff, which increases your effect accuracy by 40%. And to be honest, you guys, the effect accuracy requirement is not the easiest to obtain early on, so this is actually so impactful. You're going to want to shoot for a goal of 80% accuracy. Now, it doesn't look like these guys have hit this. It looks like they're kind of just stacking as much luck as possible and then just sustaining the run out, because really there's no way you can die. You've got the heals from Tree of Cold Dancer, you've got the buffs, the defense buff from the Tree Steel Wing, you've got the action bar cycling from the Popa Rider, plus the defense down and the attack down from the Popa Rider. This is actually so huge, so I highly recommend getting enough accuracy to be able to hit that 80% effect accuracy goal, so that you're consistently being able to apply those debuffs. But really, this bouncing Joker guy is plays such a huge role in this team comp, because he helps ease that gear requirement. He also has a heal on the skill 2, another buff, the crit dampen, which decreases your chance of getting critical hit, and a skill 1 that does ignore defense, kind of similar to the Tree Sharpshooter. She does have ignore defense with the passive ability, plus another additional attack that does more damage, and she can actually probably hit a little bit harder than the Tree Joker, but I do think the Tree Joker just brings a lot more utility to the run. And last but not least, we do have the Tree Turtle Tank. He is the bread and butter of this composition, because he is going to be applying this decreased cooldown by 1 turn, as well as granting a speed up. But the decreased cooldown is AoE, it's for all of your teammates, and it's going to help cycle your cooldowns even further, making sure that you do have all of your buffs up going into that boss round. So he is just such a crucial hero, and he's also used in a lot of the speed compositions, allowing you to bypass the skill up requirements. So I highly recommend building up this guy. So let's just go ahead and take a look at what a run would look like. It's definitely going to be on the slower side, but that's a-okay, because with this slower, safer team compositions, it's going to allow you to stack as much luck as possible. And really quick, just to break it down for you, so we're just buffing everybody up and then sustaining them, and the main damage is going to be dealt by this Tree Joker, or as you saw in the other team comp, the Tree Sharpshooter, along with the dot from the skill 1 on this Tree Steel Wing. And we're going to go ahead and speed it back up, and you guys will see exactly what I mean. This Tree Joker isn't even crit capped, because I believe his main goal was just stacking as much luck as possible. That's why you see it ranked as #1 on the cost effective strategy page, which is super important to take a peek at, especially if you are newer and you're just looking at getting an idea of what heroes are being used in each set of content that you're wanting to improve in. Personally, I use it for literally everything. If I want to speed up my team, if I want to improve the luck, I just go ahead and take a peek at that page. So far so good. Literally no way for this team to fail whatsoever. So I would highly recommend this team to any beginner out there looking to tackle Boxing Club Stage 10. This is going to be one of the better ones. Personally, I really have not seen the Tree Joker utilized as much as I would like to, and so far his role here is just so amazing, because that effect up buff, the 40% increase on the effect accuracy, allows you to consistently land your debuffs, along with, who knows, maybe you have enough effect resistance to also resist the defense down that the boss is going to apply to you, making this run extremely safe. So we are approaching the boss stage, and you guys are going to see exactly what I mean. So we are going to be able to get all of these. Okay, now hold on really quick. we did not have, whoa, hold on now. We did not have 4 buffs, so the boss did counterattack us, kind of making it a little unsafe there. The Steel Wing luckily had enough HP to be able to survive a counterattack plus an additional attack afterwards. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at the HP thresholds of these heroes to kind of give you an idea of what to shoot for. But you know, he's going in for it. The attack down and the defense down is going to really speed up this run, along with reducing the damage that you're going to be taking in. And also now the run is kind of getting set up, right? We're cleansing the buffs, we're getting everyone healed up, and now we have all of the buffs that are necessary. And now this tree turtle will further everyone's cooldown, making it just super duper safe. So you know, it did look a little bit sketchy in that initial slot, or at the very beginning of the boss battle, but you know, this team has a lot of luck on it, so they didn't really optimize the other stats. I totally get it, but this is just to give you an idea of what teams are going to work and how you work around the main gimmick for this boss stage, which is going to be that glancing. Such a pain, because you know, getting counterattacked and then one shot afterwards is going to completely ruin your run. But here we are. Most of the damage dealt looks like it was from, it honestly looks like it was kind of evenly distributed between the teammates. Probably mostly done by the tree popo and the tree steel wing, because unfortunately the tree joker did die kind of early on. But I'm sure that's, you know, far and few between. A run probably doesn't really look like that for this player. Hopefully they've done some minor improvements, but just to give you guys an idea of what the HP threshold you're gonna shoot for, it looks like 15k is gonna be that safe mark, maybe even 16k. You do have the HP percent leader from the Tree Occult Dancer, which is gonna help you achieve that stat line even easier. Next up, I do want to take a peek at this second team to see if it's a little safer. There's not a huge difference between the teams, of course, except for the damage dealing slot, swapping out the sharpshooter for the tree joker. So it's pretty much gonna look very, very similar, but this is like the free-to-play composition that you guys are gonna want to build up. And then we're gonna take a look at what you want to do if you do want to speed up the team and optimize it a little bit more, because it kind of looks like these runs are maybe like 2 to 3 minutes around that time, which is totally fine with this amount of luck stacked. But early on, you're not going to have like an insane amount of luck gears, and maybe you don't have a crazy amount of time to be able to farm these 2-minute runs all day every day. So we are just going to give you guys different alternatives to choose from based off of your roster and the progression that you guys are at. So it looks very, very similar. You're just gonna one by one take down the boss or these mini waves with the sharpshooter doing most of the damage. I honestly, you know, I kind of take it back. I feel like the sharpshooter is putting a lot of work in here right now. Like, he's almost nearly one-shotting these heroes. He does do the ignore defense, he does do that additional damage attack from his passive ability, so maybe tree sharpshooter might be better here. And then it does look like the buffs were up for this stage, so the chance of glancing is decreased by like 50% because we did have 3 buffs there. And once again, getting that shield set on your heroes going into this boss stage is going to reduce the buff requirement even further. And then here we are, we've got the dots from the steel wing, we've got the damage from the sharpshooter, and it looks like this boss is going to go down a lot smoother and quicker, reducing the RNG chance of you failing. And yeah, that bravo to you guys, because these teams are just so obtainable. And if you are just starting out, I would highly recommend building one of these 2. Next up, we do have the double light Popo Rider team comp, and we also have a dark sharpshooter as well. The luck is not optimized, but you absolutely can push 300 luck with this team composition. If you are lucky enough to pull these LD Nat 3s, then congratulations, you can happily start farming a lot of these boss dungeons. So first and foremost, once again, we've got the Tree Giant. He is fully skilled up. We do have him on the Inspire set, and we do have him first in the team's order, and after that it's pretty much just pumping as much luck as possible. For the AI, we do have it on. We do have the second ability with high priority and the third ability with mid priority, just so that the rotation is correct and he starts the boss wave with his buffs. Next up, we do have our Popo Rider. You do want to have a maximum of 70% crit rate because we are getting the crit buff from the Dark Sharpshooter, which does give 30%. After that, you do want to pump as much crit damage as possible, and then after that, as much luck as possible. We do have this Popo Rider on 2 sets of Inspire set and 1 set of the Shield set. I highly recommend to not start farming with the Popo Riders unless you do have a semi-decent shield set to throw on literally anybody. You don't have to throw them on the Popo Riders. You can put them on the Sharpshooter because the Sharpshooter is really just here for the buff, along with landing his debuffs, along with being able to stack as much luck as possible, which we didn't quite get to. Next up, we are going to take a look at the Tree Bookworm, and it is important to pay attention to these stat thresholds. You don't want to put too much attack or too much crit damage, otherwise you will completely one-shot the wave and it's going to throw off the team's cooldown order, not making it so you have your skill 3 from your Tree Giant going into the boss wave, and that's going to completely ruin the team run. So we do have 1800 plus 800, which is 24 plus 1000. So 3400 attack should be your maximum. Do not exceed that, along with 180% crit damage. Do not go any further, otherwise you are going to completely regret it, and you will kind of see exactly what I mean once we do showcase the run. For the AI, we do have the skill 3 on high. We're not actually going to be using the skill 2 because you'll see how the team's cycle does. He doesn't have a chance to use the skill 2, and also once we do get to the boss wave, the skill 1 does have a higher multiplier, so I'd definitely rather him use the skill 1 there. And then also casting conditions, we have 2 or more enemies alive. That is kind of important, but not super necessary. Just make sure you do have this AI set on. Along with for the Popo Riders, it's going to be similar for both of them. You do want it on. You do want the skill priority high on skill 1, and you do want the casting condition only 1 enemy alive, so they're not wasting the skill 2 or skill 3 on just a single enemy in the boss or in the mini waves. And for our second Popo Rider, we also have something super similar, 70% crit rate, as much crit damage as possible. We do have the slot 2 luck percent, because after crit damage and crit rate, we just want to pound as much luck as possible to make sure we're getting the best bang for our buck. The set doesn't really matter. This is for a completely different dungeon, but they really just shoot for stats here. Don't put too many Inspire sets on your people, because I mean, early on you definitely can, but once you get to the point where you're leveling up your towers from arena and guild shops, then you just, too many Inspire sets is gonna ruin this run, unfortunately. And then last but not least, we do have Dark Sharpshooter. Earlier I did mention we're just here for applying the debuffs. We've got the Great Mark and Defense Down debuff on the skill 3. After that, it's just making sure he is third in the team's order. So it goes Tree Giant, Tree Bookworm, Dark Sharpshooter, and then both of your light Popo Riders. For the AI, we do want it on, and we do want the skill 2 with a high priority, the skill 3 with the medium priority, and enough talking, let me show you guys how this run is going to look. So the dungeon leader from the Tree Giant is also super helpful because he does give the attack percent, but we do start off with the skill 2 from the Tree Giant, we skill 3 with the Tree Bookworm, and then we're going to wipe the waves with the Popo Riders. And this is going to be the perfect rotation for allowing us to enter the boss stage with the correct amount of buffs. And the Popo Riders are going to take out the mini boss with ease, and then once again we're going to rinse and repeat. Skill 3 from the tree bookworm, that's going to wipe everyone out, and then we're going to clean up with the Popa Riders. Now we are entering the boss wave, and this is kind of important. We do have 3 buffs, so there's a 5% chance of glancing, and we may even see that here, but also there is a chance of not critting because we don't have the crit buff quite yet from the sharpshooter. That's totally fine because we are playing for a 2 round on this wave, and here we are going to buff up from the sharpshooter, which is going to max the crit rate from our popos, and then by that time hopefully the boss is dead. And I just want to show you guys that this team is rather consistent, so we just want to go ahead and run it one more time for you guys because there is a little RNG. There's like a 5% chance of your Popa Rider getting frozen, but the odds of both of your Popa Riders glancing is significantly lower than, it's just a rare occurrence, and I have yet to see that happen. So I just want to show you guys that this team is fairly consistent. I do still have, now this is not my favorite team by all means. It was before the Popo nerf because you could just go ahead and one-shot the boss in 1 round. But now, without insane gears, it's going to take 2 rounds, and it just increases the RNG chance of failure, essentially. So this is definitely a plausible team for anybody that did build up the Popa Riders already. Now we are going to be rocking the Tree Ninrat, the Tree Bookworm, the Fire Clockwork, the Tree Ghost Captain. I always call him Pirate Dude. I'm still getting used to calling everyone the correct names here, so please forgive me. And then we do have a Wisp, and the Wisp really is just here to decrease the stamina cost per run. If you don't have the skill ups for this team composition, then by all means replace this Wisp with the Tree Turtle, and that's, you do want them to last in your team's order, and it's pretty much going to play out the same as if you do have skill ups on your guys. And I do want to give a shout out to Kazuha, I think I'm pronouncing his name correctly, but he was a huge inspiration behind creating this team composition. He's got something super similar, except he's just rocking the double Ghost Captain, the double Ninrat, so a little more RNG by obtaining these guys, but kind of just the same team in general. So shout out to Kazuha. I do appreciate you. I saw you comment your team and you told me to check it out, and I did, and you inspired me to create something like this. So why this team is so amazing is because you can stack an insane amount of luck on your heroes. Pretty much for the Tree Ninrat, I do want to start off by showing you guys the AI. So all we did was turn it on, and that's it. For the gear and stat requirements, we've got our Ninrat on a double Inspire set. We've got him also on a Discovery set, just to basically pump up as much luck as possible. We are trying to hit that 80% accuracy threshold, and we do want to hit at least 55 crit rate on our Ninrat because we are going to be getting a crit buff from the Fire Clockwork, and we do want him tuned third in our third in our team's order. So those are super important things to pay attention to. And after you hit that, just pump as much luck as possible. Next up, we've got our Bookworm, and these stats are kind of important to pay attention to. I think I'm a little barely above the minimum to be able to one-shot the wave without an attack buff. If you do have an attack buff removing before your Bookworm, then by all means completely reduce these stats and then maybe even throw some luck in there. It's just, I have done a little bit of the raids in this game, so I was able to enhance some of the substats a little bit, but not super necessary. Once again, all you have to do is increase the amount of Inspire sets that you have on your team members. So for these stats, we've got nearly 3,000. We've almost got like 4,000 attack total for a Bookworm, and then 200 crit damage. I'm sure you can reduce that down to like 3,800 attack total and 200 crit damage, maybe even a little less. Let me know down below in the comments if you guys have figured out the exact balance to one-shot this wave, but I'm pretty sure I'm slightly above the requirement to do so. For the AI, we just have it set super similar to the last team composition. We want a high priority on the skill 3, we want to make sure 2 or more enemies are alive, and that is pretty much it. I do like the skill 1 because it does have a higher multiplier for the boss, and that's just going to help us finish it even faster. And then also, once again, our bookworm is going to move first in our team's order. Next up, we do have the Fire Clockwork hero. He is amazing. Oh my gosh, I highly recommend building him. So you just want to stack as much luck as possible. You want a minimum of 65 luck to make sure you're getting all 3 of these buffs. And then you do want him to move second in the team's order. And that's pretty much all we did for the Clockwork. And I utilize him in most of my dungeon runs, so I highly recommend building him along with a lot of the Abyss dungeons and the mental dungeon. He's just such a great hero. I just can't emphasize anymore. Please, 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 please build this guy because he is worth it in the long run. And then for the AI, it's completely normal. You just want to make sure it's turned on. So he's using his skill 3 with the high priority. Next up, we do have the Tree Ghost Captain. Once again, we are hitting that 80% accuracy requirement. And then we are throwing a triple Inspire set on him to help that Tree Bookworm out, one-shotting that wave. And then after that, we just pumped as much luck as possible. And that's going to be kind of the pattern that you guys see with these speed compositions. Pretty much, it's just Inspire set with accuracy substats as well as luck substats on, you know, the Inspire set. And that's why I kind of recommend that in one of my previous videos for Vegas Dungeon, just to keep an eye out for that substat combination. And then for the team order, Ghost Captain is going to be going second to last. He's just going to want to move after your Tree Ninrat. And then last but not least, we do have our Wisp friend. He is here just to carry that shield set that I was mentioning in the previous runs to help reduce the buff requirement, to reduce the chance of glancing. And then after that, we just threw him on one Inspire set, and then we gave him a luck set because we want to pump as much luck as possible, and we didn't really need any more Inspire sets because we already met the stat threshold to be able to one-shot the wave without an attack buff. So AI doesn't really matter for this, guys. And that is going to be, this is literally my favorite team composition in the game, just because, you know, it is quick enough to where you feel like you're not wasting a ton of time on the game farming, as well as being able to stack a ridiculous amount of luck on your team to be able to still feel like you're getting the best bang for your buck. So let us go ahead and just start a couple runs so you guys can see what it looks like. Pretty much, it's just going to be Tree Bookworm one-shotting wave number 1 and wave number 3. And then for the mini boss wave, we are going to have the Ninrat apply his dots down. We're going to have the Ghost Captain detonate them. And then once again, Tree Bookworm's going to be able to one-shot this. And this is just, it's going to be rinse and repeat. The Ninrat is going to use a skill 2, is going to push back the boss, putting the slow debuff on him. And then that's going to allow us to be able to pop our S3 again, put all these dots on there, and then detonate the boss down. And there is a small chance of the boss surviving with a super small sliver of HP, and that's where I like having the skill 1 from the Tree Bookworm go down, because that's just going to add on a little bit of damage to where he's going to be able to kill him solo if he needs to, or someone else is going to be able to kill him. He's not going to be much of a threat with like 2k HP left. So guys, this is literally my favorite team in ever. I don't think I'm ever going to change my boxing club team, just because we do have that efficient stamina reduction with the Wisp in here. Once again, you can replace the Wisp with the Tree Turtle if you don't have the proper skill ups on your heroes. And that is going to be the run, really. So let me end it really quick, and then I do want to kind of make a small little mention or PSA, because there is a similar team composition that was recommended to one of the community members to me. Shout out Barbecue BBQ Shampoo. He did share with me one of the better, I mean, super similar team comps, but it does allow you to, I think, pump a little bit more luck on your heroes, because instead of having to go full damage on your tree bookworm, you could even go slot 2 luck percent, and that's even better because more luck, more bang for your buck. So here is the final kind of similar team composition that I do think may be able to push 400 luck, just because, I mean, I haven't really re-geared everybody. I kind of just swapped around the speeds on the fire clockwork, and then we added in the water hog chef. So everyone is pretty much basically the same. Like I said, we didn't min-max the luck here, but I do think that this team comp is absolutely achievable in hitting that 400 goal, just because you can throw your tree bookworm on just like a full luck damage dealing set, as long as you're being able to one-shot the wave after your fire clockwork buffs your tree bookworm, which also reduces the crit rate requirement down to like 55, so even more free stats for more luck. This team is just super amazing, and I really do appreciate all the team recommendations that you guys do give me, because I truly appreciate it, and I hope it helps everybody be able to grow, and I just hope it helps you guys in general. So this is the team comp. We did bump our turn order for the fire clockwork. We gave him some speed, so he moves first in the team's order. This can totally be min-max. This is not the final state of the team. I just want to give you guys an idea of how it works. And then we did throw in the water hog chef. We want her to move right after the fire clockwork, and you do want to make sure you have this skill 2 max skilled, otherwise it's not going to work. For the AI, we do have the high priority on that skill 2, and then we do have the mid priority on the skill 3. So let us go ahead and go in here just to give you guys an idea. It's going to be extremely similar to the last team composition, except it costs a little bit more on the stamina side of things, but you're able to push the luck a little bit higher since you don't have to go full damage on your tree bookworm. So very similar. The bookworm's going to wipe wave 1, the Ninrat and the Ghost Captain are going to wipe the mini boss. Once again, we are going to wipe with the tree bookworm on this wave, but just keep an idea of what's going on. So the water hog is skill 2ing into the fire clockwork, making it so you are starting the boss wave with the skill 3 on cooldown, making it so you can have 4 buffs going to the boss. And it just super safe team composition, something you can probably push the luck a little bit higher on, but just another idea for another great team. So this is absolutely going to be wrapping up this super long video that I have for you guys today. Hopefully it broke down how to tackle this boxing club stage 10. If you did enjoy it, please hit that thumbs up button. It gives me an idea of what type of videos you guys are looking forward to. And if you do want to see my future videos, hit that subscribe button. Let me know down below in the comments if you guys have any other team compositions that you're utilizing that are a little bit more unique than what you saw today in today's video. And without further ado, I will see you guys in the next one. Have a wonderful day. Peace.